Welcome to the RCAD Ramblecast After Dark. We do not have a song today because there's no Nick. What are we to do?
Nick the Prick.
Sing.
I think it was his best one yet. You know,
It was
just like it was
one
minimal,
I would listen to the whole way.
sparse. You know, it. No, we hope Nick is doing well wherever he's at. I assume he's getting several hand jobs in the Philippines. So,
For sure. No doubt.
Well, he did call Robert Kraft and said, "Hey,
Any recommendations?
okay, now just before we were about ready to start,
or
recording,
we could have said Deshaun Watson, but that's
just before we started talking and recording, Jack and I were actually talking because I got a massage recently, just yesterday. Actually, I got a massage, and I was looking for a place kind of nearby that would have massages. I knew a lady; she moved away or what have you, and so it's always kind of
somebody.
like I knew somebody, and she worked on my shoulder area. She kind of knew I carry a lot of. I'm a left arm kind of guy. You guys know my situation. And so I overuse my left arm quite a bit with my handicap. And and I carry a lot of tension in that kind of area. And I was getting some nerve kind of issues. So I'm looking around like, who can I go to, right? And I'm looking at names and places. And not that there's anything wrong with going to get an Asian massage. I'm sure they're great. But the reviews for my local one were not good, and they were a little sketchy. Like, what is no
happy ending? Is that what you're saying?
What is a shower table like? And how? Yeah, I was just. So my wife was like, maybe not the Asian one. Like we don't want a Robert Kraft situation.
Well, so, John is asking a question that I think we are all asking.
Did it move? No, it didn't move. It was completely upper. I was having her work on my upper body. So I went to this other place, really, really great. She did an excellent job. And, but there was a moment though, where the person that's about ready to massage you, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to step out and let you get under the cloth and you can take off your shorts or whatever's comfortable. And there's that moment where I'm like, do I take off the shorts? And I start to take off the shorts and I'm like, whoa, this all of a sudden feels kind of like different. It's like, I better just keep the shorts on. Like, I'll just roll them down. Like, we're not getting into that region. But
wait, like the shorts or your boxer shorts or shorts?
Shorts.
Oh, you didn't get down your boxers?
I didn't want it to move.
Oh, well, dude.
I was like, this at least is like a barrier here, It's like the next step is like either I go to the bathroom, I take a shower, I'm having sex. And so in my mind, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just old fashioned like that way. So it's all good.
It moves, man. Nothing you can do about it. Like,
it's got a mind of its own.
they know, dude. Like, how many people they massage? It's fine.
Well, it was a very nice massage. I feel, except for the fact that today my lower back is just all of the poisons or toxins that they
Randy says Indiana values.
Randy, we have none. We have none. So our values, I don't know, is like Mike Pence, who implemented you have the right to refuse service to a gay couple, but he will stick his neck out for democracy. So go figure on him,
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's funny how you said remove your pants. I know when I had to go to this one doctor for epidurals for my back, and so he goes, "Oh, you need to remove your pants." I go, for my back? So I said, all right, whatever. So I had to pull my pants, basically they're laying there naked for an epidural to my back.
Yeah. Did he get confused as to which side was your back and your front and accidentally?
I have no idea. I wasn't going that far. I wasn't
okay.
Moving. So it's just like, okay.
I think for Father's Day,
I don't argue with doctors.
I know your kids don't listen, but I think for Father's Day they should buy a massage for you. You said earlier before you've never had a massage, except for somebody touched your buttocks once, and other than that, you've never had a massage.
Before I got the epidurals, they tried to. I had to do therapy, You know, the insurance company will never let you just go do
drugs.
What you have to do.
Yeah.
Well, no, they'll never let you just do. You have to do 15,000 other things that cost money before they can. Okay, it's like when I had my shoulder was done. It'd been bothering me since I was 12. Okay, I'm 40. It's time to have shoulder surgery. They made me do 3 months of rehab to see if that would build it back up. It just made it worse.
Oh.
I finally said, okay, we'll let you have surgery. I go, okay. So then for the back, you can't have the epidural yet. That's a specialty. You have to see if therapy will work it out. And anyone who has a bad back will tell you that therapy does not help your back unless it's certain things. If you have like a kink, but when your back is done, therapy doesn't help. So, but she did massage my.
What's a therapist going to talk to your back about anyway?
Yeah.
Like how are you holding in there?
Exactly. Well, they had plenty of tissues for me.
Yeah.
I guess you didn't need any because it didn't move. But
my Anna kind of don't want no. No, I think if you haven't had a massage, it's definitely worth. I mean, she got out some knots on my back I didn't even know I had, and that it really did wonders for me. So,
well, nice.
Chris, you're muted there.
Sorry, if you have the opportunity to go to a place near you that does CBD massages, that's the way to go. It's amazing, like absolutely amazing. I've had him twice now, and it's like I leave there. I'm like, oh, I just want to lay there forever. You feel so relaxed afterwards.
What's it called?
CBD oil massage.
Oh, okay.
They put the
So
CBD oil, yeah.
Mm.
She used a little bit of cupping as well to kind of take out some things, but and then she used some kind of peppermint thing because it's Indiana.
Hippy dippy shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry says that some insurance companies will cover massages with chiropractic care, which is true. Also, some massage places like day spas, if they do things like Botox or they have those multi-function spas that have like all that type of stuff. Sometimes you can actually slip in your massages under like a healthcare spending account if you have a health scare. A healthcare spending account
Been there,
if you
done
have
that.
one of those through work. So you can pay for your massages tax-free.
No, it's it's good where you can get it. So I recommend anybody to get a massage.
Hey, the epidurals work too. I mean, they just
drugs are awesome.
I
believe
bring down the pain. It's funny though. It's funny that I would always get two. The first one was like, okay, whatever, and the second one felt like it was going through. You could feel it going through your leg.
Yeah, that's how edibles.
You felt it in your dick, didn't you?
No, I was going to say it felt like it was going right through my foot. I'm like going, all right. The first time I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like going, okay.
My foot moved.
Yeah, my foot did move because I was like, what the fuck is going on? He goes, oh, that's normal. Don't worry about it. I said, okay. I won't. Still don't understand why my pants are down, but that's okay. I know it's Dell's dream to have that, but not mine. Oh, it's funny. I did have a story. I don't know if you guys remember back in
that's why we're here.
The old Married Man days. We had The Voice. Remember The Voice would call from Australia?
Oh, yeah.
And he would do the Dell videos and stuff like that. Well, he's an actor. And he's been in some movies, and he was recently in the second season of Young Rock? What's the...
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I'll for people listening, I'll post the
Young Rock,
the Rock
show.
He's in that episode. He's in an episode.
Wow. That's awesome.
Well, he sent me a voice memo on Facebook the other day, and he's like, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his roommate's a girl, and they went to where he lives in the bush or whatever it's called. And it's funny, his girlfriend keeps her marijuana, her joints, in a Mentos container.
Full circle.
Outstanding.
I go, oh my God. I go, how, so I at least know two people.
It's awesome.
So they were calling it Mentos.
Well,
That's cool.
I used to store mine in Altoids tins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those Altoids tins can carry a nice little one hitter.
Gives it a little effervescence too. You know?
Yeah.
Winter
But
green flavoring or
those
spearmint flavor.
Those Mentos containers could hold quite a few.
Yes, they could.
From what I remember.
Thanks, Dale. Appreciate it. You made Thor the second one a good movie.
Anyway, that was from The Voice.
The Voice.
Mistral
Well,
Strike.
one thing's for sure, Thor wasn't memorable either way. The second Thor.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. But it made it easier to get through.
Passable.
Didn't they just isn't the fourth one out right now or something?
It's coming out.
It looks great.
I've never seen any of the. I've never seen a Thor.
What?
The first one's outstanding. The second one, not
first
so
one
much.
holds up. Second one's weak spot. Third one is fun. You could just jump into the third one. You don't have to watch the
third
first
one.
two.
Is actually one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Oh my gosh, yeah, top notch.
Yeah,
yep. So it's.
I did see is on Hulu or Netflix that whale movie that he's in is on there now. Because I think I told the story when my youngest daughter was getting married.
Moby Dick.
It's Moby Dick, but it's called something else, I think.
Yeah,
and they called whatever it's called. But I was watching it, waiting for my daughter's wedding day.
What the hell's his name?
Helmsworth.
Thor's name.
Chris Helmsworth.
Sorry.
So anyway, so I saw
third Thor, second Iron Man.
So I can finally finish it. Anyway, I hear it's bad, but I was halfway through.
You still
want I had to go for the wedding thing. So anyway, it's a rough life I lead. I don't get massages. Nothing moves on me.
Yeah, this has been.
At certain age, it's
John the retired UPS guy. I know Matt liked Barry. Did you guys watch it as well? Just binged it the last 2 weeks. Excellent.
I'm on the third or fourth episode of the season 3. It's
okay.
Holy shit! Sorry, squirrel. Couldn't figure out what the answer to what movie that was that you saw with him in it with the Moby Dick movie, but I did just find out that he has been cast as Terry Bollea in the untitled Hulk Hogan biopic. He's gonna be fucking Hulk Hogan.
Wow,
really?
That's awesome.
And have you seen Barry?
I have. Barry's funny because it can be depressing.
It's a dark comedy,
but it's also, the part this season with the dogs, and I don't know if you remember, and the two women one wants to break up, and she goes, "Why? Because you have too many dogs." And
there's these moments
that
are like almost hilarious. Like segues or sideways stories, and I think that. So to not give anything away about Barry, I think one of the great things that Bill Hader does as a director and the kind of the show helm, him and Bill, I'm trying to remember his co-writer on that. It's like Merg?
Bill Smith?
I'm trying to remember the other guy's name.
Johnson?
It's Bill Hader and something. Anyway, somebody else chime in about it. Alec Berg, I think. Anyway, there's a certain style that he directs in, and there's a certain tone. But I like how he's willing to jump into these different characters' lives, and it's not like we have to stay with just Barry. Even the show's called Barry, and it does that, when it comes in with the title logo, which is cool. But a lot of times, like some of the best and most amazing things are not even happening with Barry. They're happening with these other characters, and you're just going on a side story.
John, the UPS guy said Hank. Hank is one of them.
Oh my gosh, NoHo Hank. Yeah. He's in fact, there was a moment in this season where I was just like, you better not fucking kill NoHo Hank. I can't deal with this show without him. So yeah, he's definitely I think risen as a I hope that actor gets even more. Alec Berg. Thank you, Matt Treist. I knew
you knew Matt Treist would know it. We were just
I did
show up.
It was like a psychic thing. I was like, Alec
Matt,
Berg?
tell us the answer. But does it move?
Watched that. Finished watching that as well as The Baby. So the season of The Baby has finished up. So if you enjoy weird, dark, humorous comedies, especially involving women having babies and demonic babies, it's a fun twisted show. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but yet it has some really weird moments. So not everybody's thing, but I was along for the ride for that one. So
I watched We Own This City. I don't know if you guys, it's on HBO. It's about the corruption in the Baltimore Police Department, and of course the politician. It's the whole city. I mean, it's just a corrupt city. It was pretty. If it's half true, it's pretty amazing that the stuff goes on. But I saw people talking about it on. It has the guy from Walking Dead. What's the guy? Is Shane from Walking Dead?
Yeah,
he plays Wayne Jenkins, and I'll just give this one spoiler. If the dude talks that much in real life, I couldn't hang around him. It's like at one point I said, I'm watching it. Shut the fuck up. Just stop talking. But that's just
yeah.
But it's really good. Really, my wife thought it was slow at first, but then she got into it. And but it's pretty good. It's only 6 episodes, so it's not like it's
I like shows like that.
Yeah, you can binge it in a day or two.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'm just like going, man. Probably all cities are like that, but it's just
scary though.
Yeah. It's all about money, and money corrupts everybody. So
yeah.
Well, most people, I should say. I shouldn't.
So I'm pretty stoked. Season 3 of For All Mankind launched.
Yeah. I've been wanting to jump into that.
They jump right into it, man. Like it's actually the first. Sorry, my contact lens just fell out, and it probably saw me poking my eyeball a second.
Oh, I thought you were just making faces at me. I was like,
sorry.
okay, dude.
I thought he was wink. I thought you were winking at me, and I got to be honest, it kind of
dude.
Moved.
I mean, it even moved. It even moved for Jack. So
dude, my hands don't reach that far. But here's a 50 for your table,
and I'm practically dead. So.
So the season opener of For All Mankind was awesome. Like it was really cool. So it jumps right into like the 80s time period, and there's people have kind of grown from the last season significantly. Well, in like some like that personal and professional, they opened up like a space hotel essentially. I know it sounds crazy, but it kind of goes along with the whole story of everything.
There'll be a space hotel someday.
Yeah. But very, very cool. There's one savage scene that I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And there's a character in the last season who sleeps with somebody's wife. And in that scene, there's a specific song. I forgot what song it was. I can't remember what song it was.
I haven't seen season 2, but is it
Cooper? I'm not giving anything away. That's why I'm being very,
is it Cooper?
Very general. No.
Don't spoil me. Is it this guy?
In this season, that man actually marries somebody else, and their first dance was the song that he banged the other woman to in the last season.
I can't believe Cooper did that.
Is it Rose and Bernard?
Yeah, dude, nailed it. Right in the tail section.
They always worked for NASA. I knew it.
They nailed it. You nailed it in the tail section.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
Shit, I can't see.
At least it's not like that scene in Barry, the season final episode of Barry this season. Jack, you'll get to it, and there's a scene where you're just like, holy fuck. But yeah, there's somebody that can't.
There's a lot of scenes in Barry I go, holy fuck.
Yeah. So
the first episode, when I don't want to spoil anyone, but he just shoots them both.
I'm
like going
brutal.
Okay, Barry.
Yeah.
All right. I want to like you, Barry.
Good show, worth checking out if you haven't, and it goes by quick. And by the way, Henry Winkler.
That's what she said.
I mean, I feel like Henry Winkler is having yet another life as an actor. I mean, sure, he was on Arrested Development. Maybe that's the most recent thing that I can kind of pinpoint that I've seen him in a lot of. I mean, he appears in a lot of different things. Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about the career of him, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck you, Jack.
He jumps a shark.
I just think he has this other new life, and even his character arc in this season. His character arc in this season is amazing, and the trajectory that it takes, and he does something in that last episode. If this is the last season of Barry, like I would be so sad. But I could also see like, oh shit, they could just walk away with that, and you'd be like, holy fuck. So anyway,
holy fuck, god damn it,
holy fuck, god damn it, and shit fuck.
Well,
so,
with Henry Winkler, he said I don't. You guys ever see Night Shift?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, when that first came out, people were like going. When you first saw it, you're like going, because you remember him as the Fonz.
Yeah, he just had such a stigma as the Fonz. He couldn't.
Yeah, and he's not the Fonz in Night Shift, and he's a completely different character in Barry.
Matt Treese says, according to TuneFind, the song you're looking for, Boston, is "Don't Be Cruel" by Billy Swan.
Yeah, which didn't Elvis sing that too?
Don't be cruel.
I'm
Don't be cruel.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tap in on the trivia here and say.
So what he's referencing is that the specific version of the song, probably the one that was his cover, was one that the woman liked, and then it's got a funny little story to it. But anyways, savage move. I saw that Chris Doran said I did not catch that. It was tremendous. Go back and watch it again. Yeah, but For All Mankind, it's great, Joe.
Yes, I will. I'm going to catch up here pretty soon.
Yeah,
it's my goal. I've decided this summer.
Yeah,
I'm going to catch up on all the Apple TV shows.
There's a lot of them.
We're canceling Hulu. We're canceling Paramount.
You know, you can put some of those
Amazon
things on just
Prime.
Pause.
Well, we're gonna come back and we'll come back to it later on. But
Hulu
said,
has
all right,
Hulu has an option on there where you can just say like I'm gonna go on vacation.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do,
or something like that, and then
But that's what my goal is. I said, okay, I'm gonna binge all the Apples because I didn't even watch the Newsroom or News something.
Oh yeah, that's good.
There's a lot of good shit there, and there's actually not even a good drama or anything, but the new Prehistoric Planet series is.
Oh
my
god.
I wanted to watch that too. I'm like,
I've been
cool.
I've been addicted to that show. I'm glad that you mentioned it.
Cool.
So,
and non sequitur to that though, like I actually learned the other day, and maybe we already talked about this. I don't know, but it blew my mind when I found out that we as a species of humans are closer on the timeline to the T-Rex than the T-Rex is on the timeline to the Stegosaurus.
Yeah, because they had to get rid of the T-Rex because they couldn't massage people.
So
they couldn't
do the happy ending. Like 55 million years ago. Like the T-Rex was about 55 million years ago, and the Stegosaurus was actually like 115 million years ago. So the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus never actually hung out.
What's amazing is Jack's joke is timeless.
It is.
Am I right though? That's why they were always so frustrated.
Yeah, they were so angry. I can't give you a back
It might not be
massage.
timeless, but it might be time for
My HMO doesn't cover this.
You missed it.
Can I get a happy ending?
That was perfect. I said, I'll try it again. Ready?
Okay, ready.
Although his joke might not be timeless, it might be time for a commercial break.
Hi, Kim. Happy birthday, Kim.
Happy birthday, Kim.
Okay, we'll take that commercial.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. Yeah, so good.
So perfect. We're going to talk about it after the
so
fact.
Smooth.
Longer than the ad was, whatever.
Exactly.
Maybe the ad won't even be popped in because I was listening to one of our shows. We kept having these commercial breaks when Jack was going nutty, and none of the commercial breaks fell into there. And I just thought how funny this is that there's no commercial breaks, and you kept saying, "And now for a commercial break." I was like, "Okay,
hey,
Casey Kasem."
Another thing that I not watching, but I just started listening to. I heard it on an advertisement, so I Googled it and then found a podcast. It is like
that's 1 in a million.
I know. It's a story called Mother Country Radicals.
Radicals. Okay, I thought it was Mather.
Yeah, it's weird how it's showing up there. It's
Mother
a silhouette of a person.
Okay.
Mother
Country Radicals.
Mother Country Radicals. So this is an interesting story, and admittedly, it's filling in a lot of blanks of things that I did not know about our recent history. Recent history being like the 60s and 70s and all the what do you call it? The
freedoms.
People organizing against our own government in protest of war in Vietnam. So this story is actually a story that was written by Zaid Dorn, who was born in the underground. His parents were radicals and counterculture outlaws on the run from the FBI. Now, Zaid takes us back to the 1970s, where his parents and their young friends in the Weather Underground organization declared war on the United States government. So you may recognize the name of Bernadine Dorn. Jack, does that name ring a bell to you? Bernadine Dorn?
Dorn does, but
yeah. She and her husband were a part of the ultra left wing.
Beck was part of that back in the 60s.
I was.
What's that?
I had the long hair and I had the "fuck you" attitude.
Yeah,
So.
And
you were just missing some other radicals to help you.
Yeah. What's the movie? Is it the Chicago 7? The movie that just came out recently.
Yeah.
So that they were kind of a part of it. The Black Panthers are all a big part of it, and it's all about these crazy ultra left wing folks and how this kid was born into it and raised on the run from the FBI.
I think it's the Chicago 8.
Chicago 8.
Yeah,
Chicago 8. Yeah, sorry.
The trial of
with Abby Hoffman and
Abby Hoffman. Now I did read Abby Hoffman in my.
Well, the original Chicago 8 was the Black Sox, right? Because there was 8 of them.
True. Roger Dorn, wasn't he the third baseman for the '86 Indians?
Yeah.
Yes, and they were shitty. They were really
shitty. But also
they were
Chicago.
First.
So the Chicago 7 originally the Chicago 8. So there is a 7 too.
I thought it was Chicago. You sure? I think it's Chicago 7.
I'm looking at a whole Wikipedia section about the Chicago 7. So so apparently there was. Right. It's a little bit of both there.
Which is it's a good movie if you haven't
seen it. The original 7 were Stanley Tigerman, Larry Booth, Stuart Cohen, Ben Weiss, James Ingo, Freed, Tom Beebe, and James L. Nagel. So
who was
but those that says that they were the archetypes, but then there's a whole other thing about the Chicago 8. Oh wait. Yeah. But it does also list the 7 defendants as Rennie Davis, David Dellinger, not Dillinger.
What about the Van
John
Burens?
Forings, Tom Hayden, Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, which is the other name I knew.
Now, Tom Hayden was married to who?
Tom Hayden
was married to who?
Was married to
Sandra Carson, Jane Fonda, and Barbara Williams.
Yes, he was married to Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
He's also a councilman, or he ran for something, and I don't think even in California. Well, back then California was more of a red state than a blue state, but he ran for something. I can't remember what happened.
He's a senator.
Was he a senator?
Yeah.
State senator or U.S. senator?
State senator.
State senator. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he wouldn't have been.
So anywho.
Okay, go ahead.
The podcast is a limited series podcast talking about he interviews all these people who are part of this entire movement, and it's crazy to hear. There's some crazy stories, and it's so interesting when you listen to what happened in the 60s. Granted, it was under different circumstances, but when you think about the political landscape of today and how people are becoming radicalized. It's such a weird mirrored self-image of our country from 60 years ago, but really interesting listen. I recommend it. You can find it on Apple Podcasts or wherever you find your podcast, but it's called Mother Country Radicals. It gives you a really inside look through the mindset of some of these folks that were involved in the crazy times of the
60s
days of rage and stuff like that.
60s were wild. And of course you had, like I said, the Vietnam War, which was just a huge mistake.
Right.
That people just got slaughtered. It was rough. It was a rough decade.
Yeah. But check it out.
I was stoned the whole time, so it didn't matter.
Cool.
Well, yeah, that so some cool stuff there.
Also, I want to talk the offer. I'm on the final episode this Thursday. Have you guys seen The Offer yet?
No, I haven't seen The Offer.
Making The Godfather.
It's on Prime, right?
Oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. That's why I don't have Paramount Plus.
But it's outstanding. What they had to I said this before. What they had to do to make The Godfather one of the boringest movies, according to Chris, but great movie. It's just insane, and it most of it, I guess, is true. Just insane.
It's cool.
You wouldn't think it'd be that hard to make a great movie.
You see, they released a teaser trailer for the show that we all love to hate.
Manifest?
Is that still on?
Yes, Manifest got its season 4 trailer. It got picked up by Netflix.
I'm still on 2 episodes of season 1.
What?
I didn't. I only watched.
He didn't go further. It's only you and Nick, the one podcaster that's not here.
Fuck.
I said this is fucking stupid.
I'll have to recycle that reveal.
You can recycle that joke for him. So yeah.
I thought the show was stupid.
I recently I got to go see a movie. Went to see a movie in a movie theater. I went to see Jurassic World Dominion. I saw the new Jurassic World with my son. So we've been going through and watching the different Jurassic Park movies. You know, it was kind of like one of those like things like, I don't know, a week ago. I was, oh, hey, let's watch this one. And then he was like, oh, can we watch another one? Oh, sure.
Is that Jurassic Park behind you?
No, this is actually where we were hiking. I saw
that on Instagram.
Yeah, it was kind of like in a Jurassic World. Like we were joking about how my son, you know, he's come to understand that in the Jurassic Park movies, there's always somebody that's going to die, and it's always in this weird way, you know, where like, oh, you find this little critter, and you're like, oh, what a cute little critter, and then it attacks you and kills you, or
exactly.
But always the rich, you know, the rich person, usually mostly white, but sometimes not. They're usually the ones that you're like, oh, I can't wait for that rich asshole to die and get eaten, you know? It's kind of amazing how the Jurassic Park movies, I almost think of them as our American Godzilla movies, honestly. Like, because think about it, in Jurassic Park, the first one, who's the big villain? It's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The good one.
Okay, we're not saying which one's, you know, this or that. Okay, I'm just saying Jurassic Park, the first one. Who's the big villain?
The best one.
Okay, it's the T-Rex.
The one that's
clearly not. You're not playing the fucking game. God damn it. So the T-Rex is the villain. That's the Godzilla, right? In the first one, right? Everybody's afraid of it, and then, but in every single movie that comes out after it, who's the hero? Who's the hero monster that shows up?
The
T-Rex.
T-Rex. It's our Godzilla. And he shows up just in the nick of time to always help out the heroes or kill the other big dinosaur that's either been genetically modified or they found another bigger, more massive.
You always
dinosaur.
want to go high five, but you can't. So
I liked it. It was a bit long. It was a bit long. That's my big criticism.
This is with Bryce Dallas Howard, and
it reunites the original Jurassic Park cast. So you have Laura Dern. You have I'm thinking of their names in the movie. Like I keep wanting to say Ian, but
Run Chaka Run.
Jeff Goldblum,
I got
right?
That.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
And the other guy that plays the other archaeologist. But anyway, all three of them.
He was in Hunt for Red October.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Thank you. So I keep thinking of his name.
O'Neill.
Sam O'Neill.
It's just Sam Neill.
He dropped the O after his wife.
I want to go to Montana.
No more orgasms.
Can I go to Montana? Oh,
anyway,
I don't get to go to Montana.
All of them are reunited, and then you have the new cast.
And it feels so good.
So, no, it is. It is fun. So, it was a lot of fun taking my son to go see that. And Chris mentioned it earlier. If you do like dinosaurs, and even if you can't go see Jurassic World or you don't care to, The Prehistoric Planet is a really fun documentary series because it's basically like Planet Earth except in dinosaur times, and you watch the dinosaurs being really cute and dying from like, you know, attacks, just like you would watch a Planet Earth documentary, and it's done in a really cool way. So
and they produce it so well. Like, I mean, obviously,
but the special effects are like top notch.
The computer generated stuff is incredible, and I'm pretty sure they overlaid it over actual like you know environments, which just adds to the realism. Like it looks absolutely incredible. So I highly recommend it. Definitely watch it. I learned that T-Rexes were feathery. Did you know that?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
David Attenborough told me all about it on Prehistoric Planet.
and they could swim.
Fuckers could swim. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Really? How
yeah.
do they swim?
That's actually spoilers. That's actually how they open it up, and that's how they sucked me in. Is that like you start watching the first episode, and you're like, you're showing me a T-Rex swimming in the water with its babies. You got me. You fucking got me, you assholes. Like, well done. So
they're trying to make us feel.
No, it's not like sad or any. It's just like
no, but
I just was sucked in by the like the whole parental thing.
You're like
looking out for the.
It's like a mommy and her ducks, right?
Yep. That exactly. But I might as be watching dinosaurs doing it, and that's cool. Although I don't know if they actually showed dinosaurs doing it. That's one.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that. Well, I mean most of them are eggs.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I do. Like, I want to see how they do it. Yeah.
This is how we do it.
A prehistoric bang? Like, I mean,
my anaconda don't want none.
I just don't. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't want to see it. I guess I am curious how they did it. Maybe that's why maybe they didn't. That's why they're extinct. We can't figure this out. You're just too fucking big. Anyway.
Yeah.
Check it out. Great show. Looks amazing. David Attenborough is the boss.
It's awesome. Yep. Well, that's the podcast, folks.
That's all we got. Hey,
that's all we got
this week.
No, I haven't talked to you guys for 2 weeks. Like last week we couldn't record. What's that? I was moving some art. Yeah,
I went to a wedding.
You went to a wedding and you were straight up baller. Like,
yeah,
it was like that was like a $100,000 wedding or something like that.
I mean, I could see how it would be. Yep.
I mean,
it was a
Great Gatsby.
It was it was literally where Great Gatsby was filmed. Like that actually is. So the reception was the dining hall that was in The Great Gatsby, as well as the dining scene of True Lies.
Oh,
yeah,
I remember.
It's cool. It's in Rhode Island, in Newport, Rhode Island. There's a whole stretch of like really old money mansions that are now like you can go and do tours of and rent them out for weddings and such. And a friend of mine did just that, and the wedding was incredible. Black tie was kind of cool. Had to rent the tux, the whole nine. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And got to hang out where Robert Redford did. That's pretty cool.
I thought you would say you got to hang out with Robert Redford. I was like,
what?
No.
What's the over under on their wedding? You know, like their marriage. Sorry,
solid. Very solid.
Okay, good.
Well, after spending all that money, it better be.
I'm just saying from personal experience, I've experienced this as the best man at a very, very, very expensive wedding, and it didn't last the year. And I was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, these guys have been together for
well, that's good.
Over a decade.
Sometimes the more opulent than the less.
But if you want to check it out, it's the mansion's called Rosecliff.
It looked great, and I do.
It did.
Best wishes to the bride and groom. I'm not.
I thought it was a movie studio at first, like because you kept saying that. I go, holy shit!
And you were dressed like James Bond.
I was.
Well, James Bond's maybe uglier brother, maybe
80-pound lighter version of me.
I'm just
licensed
giving
to
you a hard time. I know I told this story one time. My wife wanted me to go to this wedding, and I was like, it was one of her former students. I go, look, there's this. Come on, if I have to go, they'll be married maybe 6 months. Come on. And I was wrong. They were married 8 months. But I ended up not having to go. So anyway,
the only wedding I regret going to was actually the one that was
my own.
My own. It was a few years ago. It was a friend of my former coworker of my wife.
Oh, you mean Jay?
And I had to go to I wanted to go to see Pedro Martinez get inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I couldn't because this fucking wedding. And they're still together, I think. But
wow.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Okay. Well, the weddings are. I know when Cindy and I first dated, her friend was getting married, and we went up there, and she just left me. She knew all these people. I knew nobody.
Oh,
so
that's the
talking
worst.
to everybody, talking to everybody. So that's when video cameras first came around, and they were going around asking people. Well, I couldn't remember the groom's name. I didn't know anything. I said, they don't want me on their video. Well, they left that in the video. So she watches it, goes, so she calls up Cindy, what's wrong with your asshole boyfriend? I go, well, why would you want me on there when I don't know who you are? What? Seriously. What the fuck? Am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy?
I clearly would be the person that's saying, the over-under on this, I don't know. I give them 2 years.
Would you like to? I go, I don't even know the groom's name. I don't know. I'm just bored out of my mind. Just want to go home. And we had to go to LA because the wedding was in LA.
Oh, yeah, and that's a long drive back, right?
Well, I think
Jack was stoned.
Actually, I wasn't. That was the worst part. But it's
would be
going to LA.
Wedding.
Anytime anyone who's been to LA knows that you just don't go to LA. There's always traffic. So,
okay.
LA, going to LA.
Question to the fellow stone. Question for the fellow stoner here: is it better to use your drugs in a boring situation or suffer through the boring situation and use the drugs afterwards?
Who are you talking to?
You, the fellow stoner. Yeah, I'm like, is it better? Would you say, as a let's say you're like, ooh, I could do this now.
Well, okay,
enjoy the boring situation.
I got the answers to that.
Okay.
I got the answer to that. As evidenced earlier on today's, I was talking about something. What was it? Fuck.
Oh, this podcast? Yeah, I always take edibles just to get through this podcast.
I forgot what I was going to say, but anyways,
it makes it easier.
Oh, Thor. It was the Thor story. So Thor was good.
Oh, right.
Because I was high.
Okay.
I got high before church for the first time with this wedding. So I had an edible before going into the wedding ceremony, and it was a Catholic mass. It was a Catholic mass ceremony, and and anyone who's been to a Catholic mass, a wedding ceremony, it fucking blows, dude. Like it's such a long and drawn out ordeal. But I was just coming up with jokes the entire time in my head. I just kept myself laughing to myself throughout the entire ceremony. I'm like, I think I realized why Catholic masses take so fucking long. Is because the priest can't speak more than 6 fucking syllables at a time. He's like, we're gathered here today for this wedding of 2 great people. I was definitely there for a higher purpose.
You were high on church, man.
I was definitely.
It's all the praying too.
It's made it.
It's not going to help the wedding. I mean, either you make it or you don't.
And the bobbing.
So I'm sitting there in the pew, right? And this church is a beautiful church, but they have this raised up pulpit like balcony thing in the middle.
Oh yeah.
They can walk up to it.
Mm-hmm. It's a pulpit.
And I'm sitting there, and then they had like their priest from Boston come down and do it.
Oh, that's nice.
It's
like a visiting
because you're Catholic. That's right. You're Catholic.
Yeah. Well, not really. Not anymore. But he gets up there and does his thing, and I'm like, that motherfucker. He's just some Boston priest that was like, I see a balcony, I gotta shoot my shot and go up there and do it. And I went to my wife. I said that to Amanda, and then 5 seconds later, he goes, "I'm just some priest from Boston. I saw a balcony. I had to take my chances and use it." I was like, "I just said that. So here I am, super stoned. I'm like, I'm fucking funny."
Did you think you said it, or did you really say
definitely said it? Definitely said
it.
Dude, okay.
Because Amanda starts dying laughing. She's stone cold sober, little Jewish girl in the Catholic mass. And here I am. I'm like crying because I'm like, I just fucking said that. I'm funny in the name of God.
Dude.
Well, God doesn't think you're funny.
I think that's
No,
how
not at
you
all.
were. You were definitely communing with the Lord.
Well, I mean, I didn't burst into flames when I walked in there, so
It's a different kind of
step
communion.
in the right direction.
But, you were
Well,
communing.
God
with the
was
Lord.
busy that day. He didn't have time to deal with
Yeah.
you.
Chris says it's a workout: stand, sit, kneel, etc. Yeah, you know what?
is.
Repeat.
And I had my first that was the first time I ever went to a church mass or whatever, and I didn't participate. Like I've always have, because it's been an automatic for me in my head. He's like, anyone who goes to church every Sunday.
At Jay's wedding, did you get the cracker? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, all right.
Because I will say at Jay's wedding, I would have considered myself as Catholic.
He didn't know about the
I don't
boys
anymore.
yet.
I don't consider myself as.
He didn't know about the altar boys at that point.
Well, yeah.
He was not made aware of that situation.
Jay's wedding on some of Colleen's side, they would like, "Oh, you're not Catholic?" I go, "No, I'm not Catholic." And they go, "Oh, you're the ones from North Carolina." I go, "No, I live in North Carolina. I'm from California." So,
yeah,
I had to correct him because
I've
it was
not to get this into a weird conversation, but I've become pretty anti-religion over the last 10 years. So.
See, I used a Nick joke there.
Too late. Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear you, Nick.
I know you didn't, but Sherry did. So.
I didn't see Sherry post anything in the chat.
Well, she's there in spirit.
But the worst part about the kneeling is those little praying things are hard as a rock. Number one,
There's
no padding in it, and it's so small. And it's
that's
like
your penance.
Well, they have the benches go back at an angle usually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to sit like this. You're like going, "Oh God, this is uncomfortable."
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you get judged because everyone's going to look at you like you're burning in hell.
It's so funny. So the one of my friends I was in the church with, it was, first of all, we're like the Isle of Heathens, right? So my wife, she's Jewish. Me, I'm like a denounced Catholic, and I'm sitting there with my buddy and his husband. It was like a fucking sitcom. I'm telling you. So here, don't forget.
It sounds like characters from a sitcom.
Like, don't forget. Like, I'm high as fuck in church because I had to come in beforehand, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, and all these scenarios are running through my head, and I'm like laughing the entire time. Everyone must have thought I was fucking crazy or high, but it was awesome. And like, in the part of mass where everyone like shakes their hand and they peace be with you. And everyone was like, "What the fuck do we do? This is like, you guys forgotten about COVID?" So we're all like, "No, I'm not shaking your hand. I'm not shaking your hand. I'm not shaking your hand either. You're fucking gross."
You're like, there were at least 2 cases of monkeypox in this area.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good.
So, I mean, for what it's worth, if you have to get stuck going to a Catholic mass, I recommend getting high because it's fucking it's
fun. Okay,
They
so that answers that question. I think that was a valid.
Yeah. So I think
like you said, the weddings are long enough, but when you go to a Catholic wedding,
but there's always those people in those fucking masses that they need to like out Catholic somebody else by being the one that they hear. I said body of Christ louder than you did. Like, it just goes looking back and forth. So I texted my buddy. I go, we should play the penis game until one of us goes to hell. Like, the penis game, right? Where one person says penis, and then the next person says penis, but they have to say it louder and louder and louder and louder.
Wow, I've never played the penis game, but does it move?
It doesn't move. But one person whispers penis, and then the next person says it, but it has to be louder. And every consecutive version of penis has to be louder.
Question.
We lasted 2.
Well, how do you judge? You have like
and can you just start at a louder level? Can you just go?
You can start whatever you can start. And you're like, whatever level you want.
It's like horse and basketball.
But we only got through two penises before we all lost it. We couldn't do it anymore. But
God be with you, penis.
And penis be with you.
I'm like, let's just play until we all go to hell. I mean,
really when Jesus sacrificed himself, penis.
But the moral of the story is, church is way more funny if you're high.
Laughing at
Miami, priests definitely do.
We really need to just hire you as a writer.
Oh my God, we're just wrong.
Or you can just take over when I leave.
I'd like to apologize before any.
I'm not fucking apologizing for anything, but the moral of the story is, get high before church. It's actually way more enjoyable if you have to go.
You sold,
or if you want to go.
You sold me.
Just make sure you keep the jokes internally and don't,
I don't know if I can do that though, because once I get a little something in me, I'm just.
That's what your wife said.
Yeah.
When she was pegging you last night.
What? What the fuck?
High five.
He's not high-fiving me on that. He shouldn't be high-fiving me on that.
Where'd you go? Where's he going? Hello?
You went from 0 to pegging in like 2.2 seconds, Matt.
Matt? Where'd Matt go?
Episode title is 0 to pegging in 2.2 seconds.
I did have a question. We know that Amber Heard lost her suit against John.
Control of her bowels.
Who shits the bed? Anyway, this might sound sexist, but when we were talking about it, I said my wife and my daughter, because my daughter was really into it. I said, I'm really not paying attention to it. I go, but if I was Amber Heard's lawyer, I would have her fix herself up. She was, instead of looking businesslike, I said she probably should have, because I go, there are probably men on the jury. And I know this sounds sexist, but as a lawyer, my job is to get my client to win for my client, right? I thought she looked too, but my wife goes, what's the difference? She's not pretty. I go, well, so we kind of had a disagreement there. So what is your thoughts on Amber Heard's attractive, not attractive?
I mean, from a purely physical perspective, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about her personality. She's an ugly person.
Hey, you know what? I'm sure Johnny Depp goes for crazy. So we have all
well, I think they're both toxic. Obviously she was more toxic. But I said, well, there's probably women on the jury that are just like, oh my God, that's Johnny Depp.
Okay, fucked up thing that I overheard.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The fucked up thing that I overheard though is, just hanging out with other parents, and kids playing or what have you. We're talking, and they're like littler kids than my kids, and they know about the trial. They know about like details from this trial, and I'm just like, you let your kids watch this? Like, just like you just have this on, like, and you're just. I mean, I remembered when I was subjected to Oliver North. It's like that was boring. It made me want to go outside and play baseball in the hot weather. But these kids just like, oh, you're subjecting them to this. I don't know. Just I'm with Randy. I ignored the whole thing except for the fact that I knew that she shit the bed. Why? Because some 7-year-old found out about it and decided to tell us. So
yeah, I didn't watch that. It didn't matter to me. I mean, like I said, most trials I don't. Even the OJ trial, I didn't pay that much. I didn't pay. It just was. I didn't care. I mean, I care. I mean, it's a tragic thing, but at some point you go. I was like going, this thing's lasting 6 weeks. Murder trials don't last that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah. I'm not like one of these like, oh, Johnny Depp for life. Like, no, I think there's some fucked up things there as well.
I think they're both. Like I think they're both toxic, and they just were wrong for each other. But like I said,
she got cut from Aquaman 2.
Yeah, today. I saw that.
I'm just saying, where there's shit, there's fumes. Where there's shit, there's an enema. And
you're mentioning, I had to sit through Watergate,
right?
Because I grew up when there was 3 channels and PBS. Well, guess what was on every fucking day?
There's some people that should be watching the trials that are going on right now. They're just ignoring it. So, but that's what's going on. It's what's going on in the day.
What's going on? Anyway,
January 6th trials that are going on right now.
That's what you're talking about.
Chris, I felt like Chris was giving me this look like, seriously, dude? What?
Oh no, I was picking my
Chris
teeth.
Is high.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely
so high. I can't even sing that song.
Can you tell?
Yeah.
Eyes?
No. Just tell by the way you're acting.
Yeah. Guilty.
Anyway.
Guilty as
charged. I was just throwing that out there. So if you're a lawyer, am I right or wrong? I just thought she was. But like I said, she got canned from Aquaman. I said, well, she should be. I mean, it's going to hurt the movie. There's so many people that don't like her, right?
I was just waiting to see that. I wanted to hear like the announcement, like Johnny Depp like donates 100% of like the trial money to like charity.
I thought he said he's not going to make her pay.
Oh, really?
I thought I heard that. She started a GoFundMe page and they shut it down.
Wow.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No, not you. Serious? I said seriously? Question mark.
Yes,
she. Sorry, my Mac thinks I'm talking this the other one. SIRI.
Yeah, she started a GoFundMe page and then GoFundMe people shut it down.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just my mind's in a couple different places, so don't mind me.
Cindy and I think it's a chain. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's called Torchy's.
Torchy's.
Anyone heard of it? Torchy's. For the longest
no,
time,
but it sounds like something that would be made in the South. Am I right?
Well, you would think. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Chris is shaking his head, by the way, for people that can't.
But it's funny because she kept saying, yeah, my coworkers keep saying this torch. I go, all right, we'll try it someday. Well, we tried it a couple days ago. We've had it 3 times since. Or we've had it 3 times total.
Oh, Torchy's tacos from Austin. Okay.
This is called Torchy's. Yeah, it's
maybe it's like a ripoff like Waffle House and
I don't know, but it's probably the best Mexican food I've had in North Carolina, which is probably not saying a lot because I'm from San Diego. But even though today they screwed up my burrito, I got a beef burrito with cheese. They put beans in it. I don't hate beans, but they put so much beans in it. It took away from the. And I was so he goes, well, let's take it back. Combo. I go, well, I've already eaten like 3 or 4 bites. I go, I'm trying to suck it up, be a nice guy, but
yeah.
Anyway,
Jack, have you seen the Downton Abbey?
I have. I saw it the first weekend it came out. Randy,
yeah, was it good?
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. You know,
I
don't know if I'm going to go
see.
Right? Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I'm going to go see it at the movie theater or what have you. But
it's. I liked it. It's very good. It's nice. It's nice to see people that you know
with this heat dome over the Midwest. I mean, I'm just looking at movies that are in the movie theaters so we can take my family to them. I mean, we have AC at home, but you know, it's like you want to do stuff, and it's like it's so hot out that it's like you're either going to a pool or you're going to another place with AC because you're not.
Well, last year we replaced our downstairs AC unit. Well, this year, guess what went out? Oh no, we replaced the upstairs unit.
Oh,
we went like 2 summers without. We
Spoilers.
went 2 summers without it.
Guess what? Guess what? Your AC went out.
The downstairs went out. I was like, come on.
So we're turned on.
Yeah, because it was like we had a heat warning today. It was like 100 degrees.
Yep.
So fucked.
So during the summertime, what do you keep your home temperature set at?
My wife does it. It's up higher now because we're trying to save money. But
yeah, we're usually at like 77, 78. We're kind of like we hover in there. So sometimes we'll turn it down just a bit to run it, but it depends on how hot it is outside as well. So
I always make her feel guilty. I said, remember when I wanted to get solar panels back in 2016?
Wow, Randy with the 72. So
yeah, I keep mine at 75.
75 is good. Sometimes I'll crank it down to 74 just to give it.
And during the winter, what do you keep it at?
58.
What?
58.
No. I'm sorry, 68.
Dude. The reason why I'm asking this question is I feel like everybody has it fucking set as 69. Like you kind of like have to have your temperature set for 69.
It's like a rule.
I know. 68. I think it's 68. We're just one shy. So
just one shy of having.
We're just one shy.
Just one shy of having a happy ending.
Yeah, only one of us does. Not me.
See, I live my house. I only have one. This is some married man shit right here. So in my house, I only have one heating
right on, Sherry.
Zone. I only have one heating and cooling zone in the house, so it kind of sucks because my bedroom's at the opposite end of the house. And it's got really high ceilings, so the temperature is typically at least 5 to 7 degrees different in that room.
Okay.
Either warmer or cooler during the winter.
Ooh, Matt K, mine broke with 105 heat index. Hope you're doing okay, man. I don't know how
that sucks.
Ice cubes? Would you? Whew.
It's fucking, and I keep saying it's only fucking June.
Yeah.
True.
damn. And we have not had rain. I always bitch because I got to water the flowers.
Oh yeah.
Gotta water the
Guess
plants
where
and
the
everything.
rain hit. Hope you're not going to Yellowstone
I saw
anytime soon.
Well,
Jeez.
Jesus Christ, you saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole road in. You can't get in anymore.
Well, there's a couple ways in, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That way is new.
that way is gone. So it kind of makes a loop, and there's a couple ways into the park, if I remember correctly. It's been a hot 7 years, I think, since I was at Yellowstone last. I've been there a couple times though.
I've never been to Yellowstone.
It's kind of, there's a loop around the whole cauldron. There's a lake in the middle, which is where the Superdome volcano is at. It's underneath that lake. So if the volcano ever blows, it's the dome bubble that's underneath that lake, by the way. So the lake would most likely start to boil first, and then it would blow. So everything in there would die.
And then the world ends, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we might have like a few, maybe a day. It's like, oh, hey, all of the, but yeah, it's all fucked. So
anyway, we got that going for us.
Yeah,
it's funny. I took a gummy last night.
5 entrances. Thank you, John, for mentioning that, and Randy also. Yeah, they closed all entrances. It makes sense. I mean, how are you going to get around the place?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
You know how I get kind of paranoid sometimes when I'm really tired. The gummies really affect me. And last night I'm laying in bed. I go, wait, someone trying to break into our house? So I'm looking down the stairs, looking all over the place. I couldn't take a gummy to church because
yeah, you could.
I'd be up there, probably leading the ceremony.
You'd be up there in the middle of mass asking for confession.
Yeah.
Bless me, Father.
Come,
bless me, Father. It has been only 17 hours since last I got.
No, I would actually go in the confession booth and be the priest and just hear confession, and then come out and text people what they had said. That would probably be me. Anyway.
That's fucked.
I think you would get to the third stanza of the hymn that you're singing, and you're like, how fucking long have I been singing this goddamn song? It seems like it's going on.
God, hear our prayers. God, Jesus Christ.
How many prayers?
It's funny, and I'm sorry, we're gonna piss some people off here by saying this shit, but whatever. There's like part of like the prayers going back and forth when it's like, it was like praise be to God about something or other, and it's like the response is like, it is right to give him thanks and praise.
Oh,
like,
I do. I remember that one.
I'll never. I remember as a kid, I felt like I was at Jonestown, like literally drinking Kool-Aid, and I'm like, it is right to give him thanks and praise. What the fuck? Don't tell me what's right for me. This is weird. I think if you go in and think you've been there for hours, but only been 2 minutes. Shower joke.
That is me. I mean, that is. I get.
You'd be shaking the pastor on the way in, and then thinking that you're leaving. So
yeah, that'd be the best thing though if I was leaving.
John says that'll be 1 million Our Fathers as penance.
Yes. Well, we could go longer, but I know we're keeping this a little bit shorter since we don't have Nick, and I know everybody doesn't want to hear my book review, so we'll just kind of
wait. We want to hear your book review.
I did get a book over the
Can
weekend,
you review the Bible?
Nobody really. Oh, okay. Well, TLDR. That's my review of the book Bible.
I didn't get this. I didn't get this guy.
What?
This is the.
Nick's not even here to enjoy this part, but go ahead, put your Legos together.
So here it is. I'm going to give you my review of Optimus Prime, the transforming Lego son of a bitch. I fucking hate this set.
Oh, you hate it?
Never thought I'd say that. I mean, it looks awesome. Like, it looks really cool. It's really well made. But for something that's supposed to transform, this motherfucker falls apart.
Ah, okay. So the transforming action, not the best.
No, that pisses me off.
But the build was fun?
Yeah, the build itself was totally fun. But like they tried to create a Lego set that's like this dynamic. It actually does transform. It's supposed to be able to transform like it does. I had it in the form of the truck like yesterday, but it falls apart. And John also hates it too. So thus concludes my review of the Optimus Prime Lego set. Assholes.
Zach had his birthday. Well, we didn't have the party because Colleen, Zach, and Alex all got COVID. So I'm literally the last person in the family here that has not gotten it. And we were exposed to it because we were watching the kids that night. They went to go see Hamilton, and they kept coughing. I go, "Are you guys all right?" And they go, and Colleen came back. "Oh, they're just allergies." Well, next day she goes, "Oh, they tested positive for COVID." I go, "Oh, great, just fucking great." But I didn't get it.
So you know why?
I've been telling people the government wants to take my blood and use it as a cure for everybody.
I think COVID gets to your body, and they're like, "This guy's body's way too fucking beat up." It's just sad.
It could be.
That
could be it.
It's just like, nah, that's too.
I have a good immune system though. I usually don't get sick, so.
And you've had multiple boosters, right? Like
no,
you had
the one.
Just the one booster.
Yeah. I have to get the second one because, like I said, we're going to Europe, so I have to get the second.
Yeah,
one. I have to get it.
I don't think you do anymore.
They said, well, the Vikings crew said we did.
Oh well, I would listen to the people who are driving your boat
because we had to go get our.
You tell those Nordics you don't have to do fucking shit.
I think I said this last week. We had to send our passport to get renewal, even though we have till next year, but you have to have 6 months from the time you're in Europe, and it expires 5 months. So we had to pay $260 to renew it.
Yeah,
because we were 1 month shy.
1 month shy.
And then we went to this place, UPS store. Used to be a mailbox, etc. It took 45 minutes to take 2 pictures for our. I'm like,
why?
I don't know. I go, what are they doing? I go, what is taking so long?
The staffing issues.
And they had
they don't have enough staff. It's just that the staff's not that smart.
Exactly. I said, I think this guy is new.
That's
and they're training him because they kept apologizing to us. They didn't give us a discount, but they kept apologizing to us. I go, they have like 8 employees here. 8. They're not that. Most of their stuff I was watching was returns for Amazon.
Yeah. Now, if you have in your area a Kohl's to return it to, and I think your wife works at one, right? Yeah. I mean, that is like you can get Kohl's cash if you return stuff.
They give Kohl's gives you a coupon.
For $5.
Yeah.
If you return something at Kohl's for Amazon. And so you take that $5, you find something in the store, and you buy it. So,
which reminds me, Cindy goes,
you're getting something.
I've got $5, sir. What can I buy? Here's a sock.
Pizza.
Right.
I want some more. You can't buy a sock for $5
if you want. Yeah, but no, it's only one sock. So
I will buy half.
You need $10 for 2.
I told Cindy I was going to tell
one sock,
one bra.
I told Cindy I was going to tell this story, and she was getting mad. I said I wasn't going to do it, but since Matt brought up Kohl's, she comes home, was it last week sometime, and she has stuff for the grandkids. She's bought some stuff, and she's sitting down. She goes, "Yeah, but I want to tell you, Jack, we can't spend a lot of money this week because money's tight." I go, "So you bought stuff at Kohl's?" You go, I said, "Why are you telling me?" I go, "How often do I spend money?" And she goes, "Well, I'm just trying to tell you that money's tight." I go, "Okay. How often do I spend money?"
Every time you watch a TV show, Jack.
I guess. My Amazon stock's doing crap.
Anyway. Well, all stocks are doing crap. You can't look at stocks.
Are in the shitter right now.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating.
Yep. All right. Before we get any further in this thing, let's end this. I'm going to pull.
Let's take a commercial break.
No, we're not taking another commercial break. We're not pulling over. No, we're going to the end. Okay.
Are we pulling over or pulling out?
We're pulling over. I'm pulling this thing over. Next week. We're pulling out. We're pulling all the troops out. Next week, Nick should be back. For
everyone in the chat that missed Nick, which nobody commented on, so I guess nobody cared.
I know it was like a whole. Where's the Nick love? So anyway,
I'm sure we'll have plenty of talk about next week with an additional episode of Kenobi being released.
Yeah. How many episodes have there been?
Too many.
Why are you knocking it? Why are you not? Okay. I don't know if we'll ever do an Owen and Baruz.
Do you?
Oh, hey,
well,
we had
like
some
Kenobi?
emails, by the way.
Oh, do we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I almost forgot the most important part of my job as producer here is to read the emails. And Maggie,
John, our tired guy, Jack will be out with COVID.
Maggie wrote
funny.
Maggie
It's
wrote in
so
a couple weeks ago, and she wrote in this that says, "Hey Matt, Chris, Jack, and Nick, you guys are talking
Whoa,
about
I dropped.
You guys
first. Go ahead.
Probably because you keep fucking interrupting her emails.
No,
she's
go
like,
ahead. Go ahead.
You guys are talking
Bucket.
about Chopper appearing in the Ahsoka show, and Hera isn't. Hera will be in the Ahsoka show. There was a teaser.
Really?
Yeah, there was a teaser of the Ahsoka show at Star Wars Celebration. It hasn't been made public, but I saw a bootlegged version on Twitter. And
no shit.
You see the back of Hera's head. I can't wait. People are calling the Ahsoka show Rebels Season 5. I'm in.
That's cool.
I love the Obi-Wan show. I'm waiting for an Owen and Bruce podcast episode about the show. Well, Maggie,
that ain't happening, Maggie.
I don't think you're gonna enjoy.
Long story short, as what I'm hearing,
two of the three podcasters about it.
I'll give my 30-second recap of it. You know, of what we've seen so far, I'm not impressed by it at all.
What if there were Legos involved?
The last episode was cool, no doubt about it, because we finally got some reveals of the main. Well, fuck it, Darth Vader. But it's not a bad show. Let me make sure I clarify that. It's not a bad show. I'm just not.
There's where you just differ from Nick.
Yeah, so Nick and I have varying different levels of agreement. And
so Nick likes it, but you don't.
No. Nick definitely does not like it.
Okay.
It's the Mandalorian.
I don't think of it as the Mandalorian because the baby Grogu doesn't talk, for one.
Dude, Disney fucked up, man. Like Disney fucked up because
I'm not gonna get it on a Disney down on Disney thing.
No, I will because
you're bashing our sponsor.
Listen.
No.
So the show was supposed to be a 2-hour movie,
right?
They came back, said no, stretch it out. They came up with a show pilot. Dave Filoni said, "Fucking fix it," because it's the Mandalorian. So they had to go back and reshoot and fix a bunch of shit. And now they just announced today that they're going to release it as a fucking 5-hour movie in the movie theater.
Kenobi?
Yeah.
Really?
They announced that today.
A 5-hour what?
Why the fuck am I going to go pay to see a 5-hour version of the shit that I just fucking watched?
Well, I don't think it's shit, but okay,
wait,
keep going.
But time out.
Not shit,
so the show itself, they're going to put in the movie theaters?
Yeah. For a 5-hour movie. I don't know.
5-hour movie.
That doesn't make sense.
No,
unless they're doing it as like a special event. Because I mean, what movie theater is gonna be like?
Google it.
Okay, all right.
Because you don't make any money on.
But it does. One article I read made it sound like it might not be a limited series.
Well, that was rumored very early on. I remember there were rumors that Ewan McGregor had even mentioned that if it goes a certain way, that there could be more, so that it might not just be these 6 episodes. So, I do not hate it. I actually really enjoy it. I like aspects of it. Some parts are a little clunky. I'll just give it that bigot of like there are certain aspects. However, the number of times that we've given, I don't know, the cartoon shows like Clone Wars a pass, and certain other podcasters would have beloved things to say about such episodes, but yet some of the same stupid things that are happening that they would be complaining about in the show happen on that cartoon. I'm just saying that I think that it's okay to say, hey,
well,
this is the beginning of something.
Disney keep screwing these things up?
I don't think this is a screw up. I don't think it's that bad of a show. And
I've only seen the first episode. I liked the first episode.
I think that there are some fans that will never be happy with Star Wars because it's not an adult show. And I'm not lumping you into this, Chris. I'm just saying that I think there are. And I'm not even saying that that's Nick. But I think here's a
big thing for me
of Star Wars fans that are so He-Man woman hater club that
there is that part.
It's ultra. Look, Star Wars is never going to be The Boys on Amazon.
No.
And it should never be that.
I haven't. But for the record, I've never once.
No,
that,
I know you. I'm not lumping you.
So
into
my point is this: with this show particularly, they advertised the fuck and promoted the fuck out of this show as this was going to be an Anakin v Darth Vader show. It's not. It's not what they've advertised. It's the product of a 2-hour movie that they had to stretch out amongst 5 episodes and put filler story into. It's my opinion of that. It's my perspective of that. But they promoted this like this is going to be an Obi-Wan versus Vader. It's not. It's not the show. It's Obi-Wan versus Reva.
But it's
McIntyre?
Okay. I never thought that we were going to get a complete. I never thought we were going to get a complete like this is Obi-Wan versus Vader. I knew we were going to get a matchup, but I never thought, oh, this is going to be 6 episodes of just like them going toe to toe. So I don't mind there being another.
No, it should have been a fucking 2-hour movie like they originally wanted to do it.
Sure.
That's the problem. Is it should have been a 2-hour movie. They could concentrate the story into being that.
Because every time they try to
stretch the fuck out of it.
It usually sucks.
Yeah, and I honestly feel that that's what we're getting. I think we got fucked on this. I think Disney fucked us on this because they wanted to make more fucking money off.
Okay,
of it.
well, I'm okay with the show. I enjoy the show for what it is.
I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm not hating it. It's just you might recall I said this before it ever even hit the screen. I go, they need to fucking nail this one. Like they need it. They need to make sure.
I do recall you saying
right, and they didn't. Like in my opinion, sorry, I should say that. In my opinion, they didn't fucking nail it. They fucking missed. And even a miss in Star Wars, like mythology is still something I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch it even if it's not a huge success.
Well, I mean, we all watched Book of Boba Fett, and that was a bit
exactly.
I didn't watch it.
But when I think of like some of the passable things that we allow, like Marvel to get away with, some
like
horrible
what
movies, like Thor 2, unless you're high.
Oh, we know, but like we're not giving it a pass. I said the only reason it was bearable is because I was stoned. Like the movie sucked.
But unfortunately, we can't even have a civil discussion about the show on its merits because there is this other faction of Star Wars fans that have just taken it to this whole like white supremacist other extreme, and it's unfortunate, but I think that there is this
because of the one character.
Yeah,
because of the one character and because of people not liking her, for whatever reason. So
I've only watched what episodes, but she's not supposed to be likable,
right?
But you're saying in a different way.
Like
I don't like her character.
That's fair. That's fair to not like her character, but then to trash her as an actress, though.
No. But the thing I can trash. But I think one thing I can criticize is that I think that the character is flat, and I think she's a predictable portrayal of that character. I just don't think it's anything special. Like I keep hoping that she's going to have a different dimension to her, like background and her story and like her character. But every time you think there's going to be like a open up a new dimension to her, it's like no, it's still the same flat, boring.
Because in today's TV world, we want to know the history of the character.
Sure,
what makes him be this way?
I don't even need to know the history, but I want something that's going to make me have to think twice about the character.
Sure,
you know what I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Is what good shows today. It's not like shows in the 60s, 70s, and 80s where it was just a one. I think. We're more what's the word I'm looking for? More sophisticated as far as we don't want cookie cutter. We want something that has some substance to it.
And thus far,
okay, why do I hate this person?
Right.
I still think that there are some aspects of Star Wars which could thrive, survive, breathe. One of the things about Star Wars Visions that I thought was so amazing is that the gloves were off, and these creators could do so much with their stories and their characters and still have all of these elements of Star Wars. They're short animated stuff. If you're not into animation or watching a long, they don't connect. They're just like individual anthology shows. If Lucasfilm and Disney could put as much faith into these animators having the freedom to do all of this creativity on such a simple show, the animation Star Wars Visions, I wish wholeheartedly that they would give these other directors and cinematographers and artisans that they've hired to just let them do their thing without distilling it down to some kind of I don't know, like rudimentary. I think there's so many cooks at times that it stifles the actual product of all. Like, it needs air, and I think that's when we're talking about creativity and like new ideas or new, we're so stuck within the Skywalker saga as well, is that when we get away from that, when we get into different time periods, either forward, backward in time, or in another part of the galaxy, as Star Wars Visions did, you can have fun with these things and it doesn't like suck the air out of it. So,
well, problem is, it sounds like they got, because if you watch the offer, part of the fascinating thing is they didn't want Pacino. They didn't want this. It's so much stuff they didn't want. They wanted the movie to be shorter. They wanted to cut 35 to 45 minutes of the movie. So much, and Coppola was like, no, we got to have, there were so many people who were not movie, because Paramount at the time was owned by this huge conglomerate of things. And people that had no idea how movies are made were trying to put their, they wanted it done this way, instead of just letting, the people that know how to make movies make the movies. It's probably the same way at Disney. They probably have, bean counters and stuff like that have no fucking clue how to make a movie. But Mike says they're putting $25 million in each episode. It should be. It's the story. It's the story that's always the most important part.
I enjoy Solo for what it is, and I think that there's some redeemable aspects of that. But the reason that movie got greenlit was because of the scene in which Solo gets his name. And I just think that is like the dumbest scene, and that the person that greenlit it based on that scene doesn't know Star Wars. So anyway, I know everybody in the chat loves all of our Star Wars talk, and I was trying to wrap this up at an hour for Chris, but
it's not my fault.
I know we got talking Star Wars and we got our backs against the wall here. So if you do enjoy me talking about Star Wars, I've been moonlighting on Geek Dad Life with Jay.
Are you doing you did another episode of it?
He invites me, so
I don't get
just saying, Maggie, if you want to hear my further breakdown, I guess Jay and I have been actually talking about and Sherry likes the Star Wars talk, so fair.
Well, if Sherry likes it, then the whole next week is just gonna be Star Wars talk.
It will be, probably, and a lot of it will be Nick. All right, let's get to these names, and thank you everyone that joined us live.
Is there any more emails?
Oh yeah, I guess there was one more.
You said you had a couple emails.
Yeah, jeez. Oh, it's from Randy. It says,
Randy. Okay, you don't have to read it.
RCAD, the younger years. Hey, Jack.
The younger years.
Chris, Matt, and the missing guy. Wow, these some questions here. Shit.
It's not a joke.
Jack, how old were you when you went to your first Padres game? What do you remember? Sorry, Randy, we don't have time for this one. Chris, how old were you when you went to your first Red Sox game? What do you remember?
He beat up some old person.
God.
Hey, Dad, I just tripped this fucking old guy down the stairs.
It might have been in fourth or fifth grade.
That's how you do it.
So I grew up in Western Mass. I grew up probably about an hour and 45 minutes from Boston. So it wasn't really a thing that we got to go to often. I do remember getting taken out of school early one day to go. So that was cool. So I remember being like dismissed early to go with my family to Boston. Cool. So it was probably, between 8 and 10.
Matt, how old were you first went sledding?
Oh my! You're jumping on Randy's jokes.
I do remember it. I was 7 years old. So it was a long time ago. But the Padres became a major league team in 1969. Went to my first game that year. I don't know what was going on, but I had my glove and I was all excited. I remember watching play. But I remember, I think it was the second game. Went with my uncle, and it was the Reds were playing. And I got an autographed baseball. He knew one of the players. It wasn't Bench or Rose or anything like that. I think it was a pitcher. I can't remember his name, but it was almost like a Sandlot type thing. Because for the longest time, I had the baseball sitting on this like thing, and I wouldn't touch it. Well, we needed a baseball. So I said, I got one.
That's literally the fucking Sandlot.
I know, and we would play with it. And so what I would do is I'd rewrite the name, trace over the name, kept doing it. And one time he asked, "You still have that baseball?" And I go, "Yeah, I still have it. I still have it, Uncle Ray. I still have that baseball." And he goes, "It's somewhere in my room."
John says, I bet you they lost.
Well, the first year they lost like 100 and something games. They probably did. But I always remember that baseball that was all beat up because we would use it over and over again. But anyway, yes, I do remember it was an exciting time to be a Padre fan. My first Charger game, though.
No, he didn't ask that.
He didn't ask that question.
It goes on to say,
we went Star Wars. I got to. You don't want to hear my Star?
So the next question is Matt, how old were you when you went to your first? Oh, never mind. Tractor pull, sheep shearing, Indianapolis Indians game. I will have you know that the first Major League Baseball game that I went to was a Cincinnati's Reds game. So
the big red machine. Huh?
I was thinking about I
was with my cousins,
and I'm not going to do it. But I was thinking about potentially going to the Field of Dreams game this year.
I want to go do that so bad.
It's Cubs Reds.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's the two oldest teams, right?
Yeah,
and you know who's going to lose.
The problem is, they're
too bad. They're two bad teams.
You go to the Field of Dreams game, it's awesome, and then everything else fucking sucks because there's nothing in Iowa.
But I think it's the experience of going to the game.
Come to Iowa, we have butter and corn.
In a movie,
same as Indiana.
We haven't torn down in fucking 35 years.
I'm going to Washington in August to see the Padres play the Nationals.
Nice.
We're rolling the dice because my daughter's due. My
My
daughter's due in around that time, so she wasn't happy we were going to go to the games, and so now we're not telling her. We're just hoping she has the baby before or after. So
Sean said it's going to be a corny game. Yep, it'll be a very corny game.
Yes.
All right, last of the email here. It says, "Missing guy. We expect a full report. Random."
Yes.
So
yes.
All right, let's get to those patrons so we can close out this show. And thank you again for everybody that joined us live. We do.
And thank you for not listening to my football story. That's okay.
No problem. We'll get it next week. All right. So
remember,
you are the best patron, Tack.
Wait, really? This is the God. You really went chintzy on it this week.
No. These are good. I like these.
No, I'm saying the artwork.
You are absolutely the best patron, Eckhart.
The best is best.
Hands down, the coolest and most gracious patron, Ed.
I kind of like. I gotta be honest. I like these.
The greatest patron of all time, Maggie.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Just the absolute most amazing patron of all time, Joanne.
Wait.
Oh, there's more?
More important than all the other patrons combined is you, the listener. You know what? Fuck it. You did such a great job with the last one.
Thank you. Thank you.
That might be your best yet.
That might be your best bet. You know what the common denominator of what your best one was? Is you didn't draw.
I didn't draw. Well, this was a great
your
show.
Artwork's usually the best. It's 1 in a million.
It was truly 1 in a million, especially because Nick wasn't here. So,